Hi, my name's Matt and I'm part of the church team here at All We Can. I just want to share with you just for a few moments, if I can, on this idea of how we can pray with an unceasing spirit. That's right, pray with an unceasing spirit. What we find in Scripture, in 1 Thessalonians 5:17, what we find there is this idea of praying constantly. We've got to pray constantly. Jesus didn't give us an option to say, pray a couple of times. Actually, there was a real challenge for us to pray constantly, pray unrelentingly, to continue to pray. So, how can we live up to that challenge? How can we deal with that challenge for us today? Well, I want to give you 3 really simple points, which actually comes from St. Francis of Assisi, who gives us a 3-point idea of how we can pray with an unrelenting spirit. Do you want to join with me now? So here are the 3 things that we can do today together to continue on this journey that we're on. The first thing to do is ask. Ask. You see, God is omnipresent by his very nature. That means he's there present with us. As he's present there with us by his Spirit, what we do when we ask, we are simply giving attention over to the fact that God is there with us. His Spirit dwells with us. Wherever you are right now in that room, wherever you find yourself, location-wise, God is there. He's beside you, in front of you, behind you. He is there. And so giving attention over to God being there is so important. So number 1, ask. Number 2, offer. Offer to God the situation, that moment that you're praying for. It might be something that's good. It might be something that you're looking forward to, something that you're really excited about. Or maybe it's something that actually you're not excited about. Maybe it's a situation that's really challenging for you. Maybe it's something you really need help with. Either way, offer that moment, offer that situation over to God. And be aware of his presence there, offering it over to God. And number 3, and lastly, accept. Say, you know what, God, I accept whatever will come my way as a result of this prayer. How often do we pray, but actually not wait until see the results of our prayer? And how often do we want to sometimes fight with the result and simply see in it through our own lens, our own answer, actually without seeing it through God's? You see, I was on a plane one time, and we were flying into a state in the US from one state to another. And as we were flying, I knew I had to get there in time so I could find my friend and we could go and speak at a church. And what began to happen was that the plane began to circle, and you can begin to know the time you're about to land, and we'll begin to get quite close to it, and we'll begin to run over that time. Like we were still in the air. You see, we'll begin to be put into what we call a holding pattern. You see, my prayer at that time was for us to land that plane. I wanted to get there. I needed to be somewhere. But the thing is, if my prayer had been answered in that moment, what would have happened? Well, I wouldn't be doing this video right now. You see, there was someone down on the ground called air traffic control who could see what was going on up in the sky and put us in a holding pattern. You see, sometimes we need to accept the outcome of the prayer. So, let's recap that. Ask God to be present. Number 2, offer. Number 3, accept. You see, if we embrace those 3 steps in an unrelenting way, that will help us to be consistent in our prayers. Not just having to find hours upon hours in time, but actually just offering little moments in our day over to God. Susanna Wesley, we can learn so much from her and her spirit. Because actually what she did was, she had so many kids around her, she couldn't constantly have hours of segments of prayer. So what she did was she should get her apron and she would put it over her head and she would pray. And that way the kids knew never to disturb her. You see, we need to find moments in our day to simply put the metaphorical apron over our head, ask, offer, accept, and see how God can bring us close to him, and we continue this relationship that we have with him and the journey that we have with him as well. God bless you. My name's been Matt, part of the church's team. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Bless you all. I'll see you soon.